What is up, YouTube? I am doing, this is kind of like a two-part test video. One, I have this action camera, and here's the app I'm using so I can kind of see what's going on right there. But I have the action camera around my neck, and I got this in the mail, and I got this from Amazon, and it was, I think, about 14 bucks, but there's a lot cheaper ones out there. But I was kind of looking at the reviews, and this is the one that I decided on. But you can get them as cheap as like $7. But it's a replacement battery for the iPhone 4S, and it comes with a 1-year warranty. And this might not be the best camera to show this, and it's probably not the best lighting either. But here's the box. But this is more of a test of my camera and stuff like that rather than. So I always get nervous when I have to do these types of procedures. Let's see. So this looks like, I think this might be a pull tab for the battery. Looks like there are 2 screws in here. Not sure if you can see that, but. And here's some instructions that I'm going to follow. And let's see. And here we have the Alright, so these are all our tools that we're going to use. And this must be the actual battery. So this is for the iPhone 4S. If you have the iPhone 4, I don't think that this is a battery for you, but it might work for the iPhone 5. I haven't really looked into that. So here's what the battery looks like. Alright, it's got this little tab here, so be careful about that. It's got a little bit of weight to it. And here are the tools. You have 2 different screwdrivers. They're really tiny heads. Some plastic tools to kind of like pry stuff, and then these look like guitar pick tools. Not quite sure. But let's take a browse at the instructions real quick. So, before disassembling the phone, make sure it's powered off. I also heard that you want to put it on mute, so I did that too. So make sure that your phone is on mute if you do this. Remove the 2 3.6 millimeter pentalobe screws next to the dock connector. During reassembly, we recommend that you replace the 5-point screws with equivalent Phillips screws. Because the 5-point screws should only be used once, they have the potential to strip the screw. Okay, so that's a good little tip. So let's see. The big one looks like the Phillips, and this one looks like the 5 pentalobe, or whatever they call it. So here we go. There's 2 little screws at the bottom here, and let's see if that works. Wow, it actually does. And it's like a nice little magnetic screwdriver thing, so that's pretty cool. Sweet, look at that. Alright, so I think we're done with that screwdriver. Now, from what I've seen on YouTube, you kind of have to like slide the back end up a little bit. So step 2, push the rear panel up, and it moves about 2 millimeters, and then pull it off, being careful not to damage the plastic clips, and then remove the rear panel. Alright, let's put that over there. That's got some screws in it, so should be careful. And alright, so that's a little. So this is actually the first iPhone I ever got, so I kind of like it and don't want to really ever get rid of it. Now, how do we get this thing off? Maybe that's what these little plastic tools are for. Okay, that made it very easy to do. Awesome. So here on the back panel you got kind of like 2 little clips sticking out here, little shallow plastic clip there, and then another metal clip right there. So, and then this is what the inside of my iPhone 4S looks like. Then I think there's something you got to do right here. So let's continue with these instructions. Oops. There we go. Remove the following screws securing the battery connector to the logic board. There's 1.7 millimeter and 1.5 millimeter screws. Okay. So let's use this phillips that they gave us and pop these 2 screws out right here. There we go, it just needs a little bit of force to get it in there. I'll throw that in there. Always remember to like kind of remember which screws are which so you don't have to do a lot of effort when you put it back together. There we go. That one was a little kind of being a little tricky. I love that magnetic action right there. It kind of just sticks onto the tip of that. So awesome. So now we got these 2 things unscrewed. Let us see. Use a plastic opening tool to gently detach the battery connector from the socket on the device. Start lifting off the connector from the bottom side, replacing the tip of the tool between the loudspeaker and enclosure and metal. The battery connector comes off vertically from the logic board. Do not apply force sideways. Okay. So basically this is the battery connector piece, this little shiny piece, and they want you to start at the bottom here. And then the top. We said not to really, if I understood it correctly, they said not to really mess with the sides. Boom. I just really had to just loosen the top, and the side, the bottom was really where the effective action happened. All right. Pay attention to the pressure contact underneath the top screw. This may come loose while trying to blah blah blah. Use a plastic opening tool. Okay. When reinstalling the pressure contact, be sure to clean it with a degreaser, such as Windex or ISO. The oils on your fingers have the potential to create wireless interference. I don't think I'm going to do that because I don't think I actually touched that. Take notice of the position of the small black ground clip on the upper. Man, these pictures suck though, they're so small. So there's a small black clip somewhere on the upper side of this battery connector, and yeah, I do see it, and it just fell off right here. Let's just dump that in there. This little piece was a small black clip they were talking about. This piece right there. So I don't want to really touch it with my fingers right now. And you know what? If they were afraid of oils, they should have told you to wear gloves before doing this. I mean, okay, take notice of the position. When reinstalling, it must be aligned so the gold contact point will press against the back cover. Okay. Be careful not to rip off the battery connector socket. There are 4 very small soldering points awaiting this mistake. Step 6. Insert the edge of the plastic opening tool between the battery and the outer case near the bottom of the iPhone. Run it up along the edge and pry up around several points. Separate it from the adhesive. Alright, let's see. This is like kind of the tricky part, I guess. Start here. I guess there's like sometimes a lot of glue. So you just want to gently get it off of this thing right here. Okay. There we go. So that's a lot of... Oh, okay, I see. So this little battery connector piece right here is stuck to the battery, I guess? It's interesting. Okay, let's put that aside. And... using the exposed clear tab. And I actually didn't even have a tab on this. There was no tab. Oh, the tab was tucked. Is this the tab? No, that seems to be like it's glue. And I never got this iPhone serviced anywhere, so I don't know. No tab. Anyway, to reassemble your device, follow these instructions in reverse order. If your iPhone reboots constantly after, then you need to do a hard reset by holding down the home and sleep button for about 10 seconds. Okay. So let's see. Here is the new battery. And they gave us a plastic tab, so I'm going to use that. So let's take this new battery out of this thing real quick. There we go. Now this is what it looks like on this battery. Oh, so this kind of bends up like this. Okay. So that's how that works. And then that metal piece just kind of goes there. So I'm going to try to install this little tab right here real quick. Okay. Okay, so that's how that tab works right there. And that's stuck on there. Now let us put this back on like so. And I don't want to have to use Windex to clean this, so I'm going to try to not use my fingers on this little metal piece right here. Okay, that seemed alright. Now this gold piece is kind of like the weird part of this. Trying not to use my fingers here. Okay, there's this gold piece. Now let's see what this said. When reinstalling the pressure contact, be sure to clean it. Take notice of the position of the small black ground clip on the upper screw of the battery. This clip is attached only by the upper screw. When reinstalling, it must be aligned so that the gold contact points press against the black cover. Alright, I'm gonna just have to touch this with my fingers. So the gold contact points. So it looks like it's probably going to be placed in there like this. Yeah, this little battery bend is not working really well. That somehow like that. Let's see. Now I'm gonna have to refer to YouTube and see how this piece fits back into this thing. The gold side has to be up because the back end of the battery is going to be there, so let's see.
Like a window into the soul of the iPhone, our transparent
Alright, so there's a couple of videos that you should be watching. So she just unscrewed that one. What? She didn't even touch on how to do that. The most weirdest part. Okay. Let's try something else. Oh, okay, so that little piece kind of goes over. Wow, my piece looks a lot different than that. So you open it up, and that thing's just kind of sitting there. Don't understand. Alright. Mine looks a lot different than that too. Ugh. Okay. Oh, I kind of just want to not do this piece. And obviously, you see so many YouTube videos and everything looks so easy, and then you do it, and it's like so different. So that little piece is... So this is how we're doing it. We're doing it this way. And if I was trying to get all my... to not get any fingerprints on it before, that goal has... it's impossible now. And no, I'm not going to put Windex on this. Alright, there we go. That's how you do it. Frustrating. Alright. So now we have to put these screws back on. Okay. Good thing for this magnet. No, of course you're not going to work. Because that makes more sense than working like every other video I saw. Alright, so bottom screw's in. Now we have to worry about this top screw. think I actually got it. Oh, you gotta be quick with it like that. Alright, I got it. So this is the trickiest part, guys. No, I did not get it. Damn it. Okay, you see this part, this gold piece right here, there's a hole that lines up. So you have to line up that, and then screw that in underneath. So let's see if that's lined up. Let's see if that's correct. Alright, it's in there, finally. Now, of course, I got my fingerprints all over this thing. And I actually do have ISO wipes that I could use. But instead of that, let's just use this microfiber cleaning cloth right here. Just to be safe, even though I know it's... Okay, so before we put this back piece back on, let's actually turn this on and see if... Okay, that is a good sign. It looks like the battery has installed correctly. My bad. I got this on a necklace hanging around my neck so you guys can see this, because I knew I couldn't use two hands. Alright, so while that's happening, let's just throw this piece back on. And they said to replace the screws that were in there originally with Phillips head screws, so that if we ever do this again, we don't have to like strip the screw. So you kind of throw that like that, slide it down. Wow, okay. And they gave us two screws to take care of that part, and they were rolled up in a little thing right here. So the battery performance on this iPhone 4S, this is obviously an old phone, but it was really bad. Like really, really bad. So just any kind of battery boost that this procedure gives me is going to be worth it. There we go. Oh, whatever. So this is the quote-unquote easy part. Try not to scratch any of like the metal and stuff. Alright. last screw. Getting text messages. Awesome. It's got a 50% battery thing, and I guess we'll only know in time, but yeah, this was a kind of a preview of the the camera, the little test, and this is what it looks like on the app. And you can, it's hard to okay, you can hit the record and stop button right there, which I'm going to do right now. So thanks for watching. Take it easy.